start with the date function. So the first function in date function is add date. So basically it adds a predefined interval. So it defined a predefined interval into a particular date. So right now I have an example of select add date. The date is given an interval of 10 days. So it will add 10 days to that, but you can add in seconds, milliseconds, months and all. So we have a syntax for that. So yeah, so we can add microsecond, second, minutes, hour, days, week. So we have a lot of categories. So that you can add to a particular date or date and time. So it's a syntax is like that. You have to put add date, then you can put your date and the interval and the value of that interval with the unit. So for example, date interval here it is. So you have date interval of 10 days. So it will add 10 days to this date.
Got it.
Then we have add time. So it's same as date, but it will only add times in seconds. And then it will return you the date time.
Swap, if you just go back to that web page that you showed, if you just scroll down, I think the bottom ones are very interesting actually. Okay, so you can add day plus hours, is it? Day plus minutes, days plus seconds, day plus microseconds. Okay. Years and months. Okay, this is awesome. I think all the bottom ones they give, they are real life. Yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you.
So yeah, if you want, we can run any of one of them. We can have a run. We can run it and check it. So like right now we have days. So it will just add the date from 15 to 25. So accordingly, if you change the interval, it will change the date accordingly. Then for the add time, so it's like it just add the time in seconds to the particular date. So if you add 200, so it will convert it to, yeah.
I have a quick question. Just go to that web page once.
Yeah.
So scroll down. So over there, day underscore hour, right? So what value we need to give for that one?
Day underscore hour. We can check it. Let me try. This. So it added 10 hours to your system.
Just try and give maybe 36.
Yeah, change the date and then.
Okay. So basically, day hour means you should give it a hour level unit.
Yeah, it will just convert into the next date if we have possible.
Yeah.
Then we have add time. So in time, you give in seconds. So if you cross 60 seconds, it will change into minutes and all. So the date would change accordingly. And then we have a current date. So it will return the current date of the system. So there are multiple syntax. So you can use CUR date. You can use current date. So both of them have a same function. They will return the date of the system. Then we have a current time. So it will return the time of the system. And when we have a current timestamp, so it will return the complete timestamp, date and time of the system. Then current time. Then we have a date. So it will extract the date from the expression. For example, if you have date and time in your syntax, and you want only date from it, so it will only extract the date part from a particular syntax. Then we have a date difference. So it calculates the difference between the 2 days in the number of days. So here if I use this, so it will give you the difference in both the dates in the number of days with. So it would be 10 days. Then we have
Swap on the date diff function. Do we have any other like, for example, if you want difference in months or weeks, or is it possible
Yeah,
instead of days?
yeah, we have different functions for that. Where we have them below. So if you if you go for period difference, it will give you the difference in months.
Okay. Okay.
So similarly, we have for weeks and hours as well. So
Oh.
that is time difference.
We have different functions for each of those periods. Okay.
Swap, I have one quick question here.
Yeah.
So I'm basically understanding like all these functions. For example, assume we have like 20 or 30 rows of data. So how do we implement this function to particular row or like particular column? Maybe date column I want to like entirely change, either add day or subtract day. So how flexible we can apply these functions in a data
It can work
tables?
easily. All you need to do in your query. So you can, for example, you need a date. Let's say that is 10 days after this.
Okay.
Okay, so you can put your order date greater than equal to add date function.
Okay.
So basically like this. Your order date. So you can put a query like this. So it will give it. So it will give you the order date that are above 25. Whose data more than 25.
Okay. Got it.
So it can work for your select clause, where clause. So if you have any condition that you have to get a particular set of data of those employees who have joined for more than 3 months.
Okay. So all this you can use in where clause if you want
Yeah,
to
you can.
implement. Okay, got it. Now,
Yeah, these function helps you in creating the conditions.
okay.
So date related condition, they would help.
I think you can also use them to generate a new column, Jairam. So for example, the add date function is there, right? Let's say you have a column order date, okay, and you do select order date, comma, okay, and in the place of the date string is there, right? Add date 2017 6/15. I think I don't know if it will take the column as well. I think it will take the column order date and give interval and 10 days. So for all the rows, it will give the 10 days later. That
In place of this date, you can put your column, but make sure that is a date column.
Okay.
So you can put a column name there, and it will give you the difference accordingly.
Okay, so you can add new column, and also if you want to put conditions, you can use that class. Okay. Now it's clear.
This would also help you if you want to insert some values. For example, now you have a new column in which you have to calculate the number of days from the order date. So for example, we are using the date difference. So here you can put order date, and here you can put the current date,
Okay, got it.
and you can add that value to a particular column. So the date add function is the same, and now we have a date format function.
Just to add to that, Jairam, I think see the way SQL works is, I think everyone knows it. I'm sure probably Jairam also knows it, but I'm just making it a little, open. See, the way SQL works is there is a database, right? And there are tables and rows within that. Okay. So so you can write a query. Okay. So that's why it's called structured query language, right? You can write a query, and the output of query can be either you change the database itself, right? Or you can have a new output. Okay. And the new output can be basically as a, let's say, a new table of sorts, right? Or like I mentioned, you can also change the existing data, right? So like the question that you asked is, hey, if you have, let's say, 20 rows, right? How do I make change to those, right? So if you want to make changes to, let's say, 20 rows, either within the database or outside of the database, you want an output from it, then you actually write a query, okay, that affects those 20 rows. Okay, so that is how you change the data. Does it answer your question? I don't know if I'm answering your question or not, but yeah. So anyway, I just thought I will add that. Okay? Yeah, thanks. Please proceed.
Okay. Okay.
Swap.
So now we have a date format. So for example, we have already date in our system, but we need to change its format. So for that we have a syntax of select date format. Here you can put your column name. For example, if you want to change a column, and here are a type. So it indicates a type. So here's a description for that. So if you put a percentage A, so it will give a abbreviate weekdays name, starting from Sunday, ending at Friday. Then for B, it will give you the month name. C, month number. So D, the days of month in numeric value, followed by suffix first, second, third, fourth. If today it's a numeric value 0 to 31, even E is also the same. Then for microsecond hours, so we have a long list of it. So you can format your date and time function accordingly. So all you need to use is that symbol accordingly. So this is a long list. So we can use this example. So right now our date format is this, and we have using %w, %m, %t, %y. So for %w is the full day weekday with the full name. %m is the month name in full. %y is the year, that basically 4-digit value of the year, and %e is the days in the numeric value of that day. So if we run that query, and we have Thursday, June 15, 2017. So it will format a particular date in the way you want it. All you need to do is put the format that you want.
Okay, got it, sir.
Then we have a date subtraction. So it's inverse of date addition. So it's the same that you add your date, you give your interval, and that interval value. So values are the same that in date add. So basically you can add subtract hours, days, months, year accordingly. Then we have days.
So, Swap, do you know if in date add, can we give negative values?
Yeah, it allows
We
the
can,
negative value. Even in subtract, you will give the negative value. It will add it.
Okay.
So we can show you. I can show you that as well. So let's go to date subtract. So like for this here, we are using a negative value. So we are subtracting 2 months. So now because we are doing a date subtract and we are giving -2, so we added the 2 months. Similarly, if you go for date add and you give -2, it will reduce the 2 months.
Alright.
Yeah. Then we have a day function. So basically, from the given date, it will find the day.
Okay.
It will find the day of month.
So that gives the number 15 there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It will give you day of the month. Okay. There's some issue with it. Let me use this. Yeah, so it will give you 15. Then we have a day name. So it will return the name of that day. So the day, so it will return the weekday name of that day. Basically if it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, accordingly. So we have a day of month. It is the same like days. So it will give you the date of the month, day of the month. Then we have a day of the week, so it will give the index number of a particular day. So for example, for Sunday it's 0, for Monday it's 1. So accordingly it will give you the index number. Then we have a day of the year, so it will give you the day number of that year. So for example, Yeah. So this is the 166th day of that year. Then we have a extract. So extract, we have multiple functions in extract. Yeah. So for example, if I want to extract a month from a given date, I will give the month and give the date. Similarly, if you want to extract anything like microsecond, second, days, second, millisecond, minute, hour, so it will add accordingly. It will extract that part from that date. So you need to define, basically define the part you need to extract, and it will do it.
Okay.
Then we have second. So yeah, it will return the values of the second from the given date. So basically, it will give you the second time. Then we have set to time to return the time value based on the specified second. So for example, if I use this command, so and I have given the 1, so it will take the current time and will add 1 second to that.
Okay.
Then we have string to date. It will return the date format in a particular format. So let me show you. Yeah, so we have a string like that, and we need to change it to month, date, and years. So all we need to the functions are the same in which the format it's like a date format function only. You need to specify the format in which you want your date to be changed, and it will do it.
Swap, can we just do a quick trial on this function? So, for example, let's say we have a month year as a string. For example, August 2017. We don't have day. We just have AUG-2017. Is it possible for us to, and it's there as a string. Is it possible for us to convert it? Let's check now.
I don't think that then E would work. So you are saying it like this.
Remove the day also, and we have AUG, only AUG, not full. And a space and hyphen.
Instead of space, we have hyphen. This
Space before hyphen and after hyphen. Give us blank. Yeah, like that. So
it will give you the error. I think.
Can you change the format maybe? Like
You can choose the format. So we can use YYYY for the year, and for month we can use M.
So just give
No, that's
that
full name, I guess.
capital M and capital Y. What, Jerem?
Actually, that percentage M was like showing the full month.
Yeah, let's try these two alone.
It won't give you because it's not understanding the state.
Oh, can you put, is it possible for us to put the hyphen in the format as well?
You want hyphen date. For T, it's time. I think it's percent D something.
No. In the format only, in the command that we are writing, just
Between that percentage M and percentage Y.
can you in the
Yeah.
command? Yeah, just put a hyphen similar to the date format. Space. Yeah, maybe try and run now. Did it detect?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Understood.
But it gave in a
It's only giving the month and year, and it's not giving us the day. Okay.
Because it's not finding any date.
Days, yes. Yeah. Okay. If you want a day, then we just have to like put an hyphen and put maybe 01, so that will be counted as a for day 1.
Yeah, if you put it like this, and you put a percent D here, it should work. Yeah.
So because most of the time the SQL data that I work with, so it will be a string format like that, AUG 2016 month year, and for that to convert to real actual date time format, I think this function will be very helpful.
Yeah, instead of yours, I will suggest you to do the extract date. So that way you can just extract two parts and add them afterward.
But it's a string, right? Will extract only works on date date type, right?
Yeah,
So, but we have that stored as a string. It's not recognized as a date.
okay, then you will use this function.
Mm.
Okay, and it can just change. So yeah, if you have this like this as well, then you can convert it.
Yeah.
Your set of numbers, so it will convert into date timestamp.
Got it.
Then we have a subtract date. So yeah, it will subtract from the given date based on the interval which you give. So it's a similar function. Then we have a from date. From days. So it will return the date from the numeric date value. So for example, if I give this value, so it will give me the date, a particular date from the inception. So let me show you this one.
This is useful for Excel users.
There's some issue with this. After a few queries, it stops working. Okay. So if I run this one, so it will give you the date that this day comes in 1876. It's September 29th. So if you just change the number, it will just convert that. Now we are in future. Then we have a R function. It will return the R of a given date. So it will just find the R and it will give you that value. Then we have our last day. So for example, we have a particular date and we want to find the last day of that month of that date. So last day function helps you to find the last date of that particular month. So for this date, it would be finding the 30th June. Then we have a local timestamp. It will return the current timestamp from the system. Then same for the local timestamp as well. It will give you that timestamp. Then we have a make date. It create and return the date based on the year and the number of days. So for example, I am giving 2017 and 3, so it will give you 3 Jan 2017. So accordingly, you can make your date based on the year and the number of days you give. So if I give it 300, yeah, so the way have reached October. So accordingly, if you have days, so you can convert it to a particular date. Then we have a make time. So you will just give your hours, second, minutes and second value, and it will convert into the time. Then we have a microsecond. So it will return the microsecond part from a given date timestamp. Then similarly, we have month, minute. It will give you the minute. Then we have month. We have month name, and okay. Now, then we have a now function. Now function is same as current date. So we have a various function for the current date, and they will return the current date of the system back. So now we have period add. So if you want to add a particular, we saw for the date. For make date, so it will add number of days. We have a period add. So in period add, basically we add number of months to a particular date. So like we have a day and we have a year, and if you want to add 5 months, so it will create a date of 2017-05-03. Then we have a period difference. So it will give you the difference in month between two dates. So this is 2017 October, this is 2017 March. So it will give you a difference of 5 months. Then we have a quarter. So it will return the quarter of the given date. The quarter is from January Yeah, then we have a subtract time. So it will subtract the time interval from the given date. So these are in the seconds. So this will subtract this second from this particular date time stamp. Then we have again system date time. It will give you the date time of the system. Then we have a time. So it will extract the time part from the date and time format. Then we have a time format. So if you want to format your time details, so you can use this format. Then we have time to second. It will convert a time into a second. So if you have given time, you want to see how much second is this, it will convert a particular value into seconds. Similarly, we have a time difference. So if you give it 2 time intervals, it will give you a difference in the seconds value. Okay. Now we have a timestamp. So we have a timestamp. It will return the date time value based on the date and time value. For example, if you have 2 columns, one is having a date and one is having a time, so you can use this to create a timestamp, a complete timestamp for that. So this is 2 days. It will return the number of days from the inception to a particular date. For example, if I use this function.
Swap, what is the timestamp? It's not clear.
If you have 2 columns, one is containing the date and one is containing the time.
Oh, okay. It will return the total, is it? Okay.
Then it will create a complete date timestamp for you. So you can add them.
Got it. Okay.
Then we have 2 days. So 2 days returns the number of days since inception. So basically, it will tell me how many days have been from this date, 000. So basically, from the start of the calendar, how many days have been spent. Then we have week. So it will return the week number of the given year. So for example, if you want to see which week is this on the particular year, it will give you the week number of that date. Then weekday, so it will give you the weekday of that particular of the date. So this is third. So if we go for today's date, so today is Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, and it's giving the number 1. So it starts like this. Monday is 0, Tuesday is 1, Wednesday 2, so accordingly. Because for us, weekday starts from Monday. Then we have a week of the year. Yeah.
And do you have any functionalities so that we can change Monday as one or week starting like that in SQL?
Week starting, you want to change the starting week?
Maybe like Monday as 1, Tuesday as 2, can we change that? Do you have any options? So here in that note, they have given 0 for Monday like that, right?
So you can use week. So your first day of the week would be Sunday. Then accordingly it will go forward.
Okay.
Then we have week of the year. So it will give you the week number of that particular year. So you can even nest them 2 functions. So for example, if I want to know the week of the year of the current date, so it will give you. So this today is the 32nd week of this year. It will give the value accordingly. Then we have year, so it will select the year from the given date. And the last we have the year week. So it's same as the week of the year. It will give you the week number of the given date. Yeah. So these are all the date functions we have in the SQL.